Welcomes to you in the lecture number 2 on concept of electrostatics. Here we will see next 13 more concepts on electrostatics. First of all, see this concept. This is a gold leaf electroscope and X-rays are hitting on this gold leaf electroscopes. What will happen if X-rays are hitting on this gold leaf electroscopes? Here two cases are possible. First of all, this gold leaf is air filled. If this gold leaf is air filled and charged, what will happen? This X-rays will ionize this air and these opposite ions will neutralize these gold leaves and finally these gold leaves collapses. So if air filled and charged gold leaves and X-rays will ionize and finally this will converge. And in second case, if this is evacuated, here is no air, this X-rays directly hit these gold leaves and gold leaves here what will happen is photoelectric effect. X-rays hitting on this gold leaves directly, there is no air, these X-rays directly hit and knock out electrons and what will happen if the gold leaves are neutrals, if these gold leaves are neutrals, then X-rays will knock out electrons and these gold leaves become positive charge and this will diverge. And if this is already positive charge and X-rays knock out further electrons, this positive charge increased, so potential increased and this will diverge. And if third case, this is already negative charge, if X-rays knock out electrons, this negative potentials reduce, so this will converge. Second concept on Kirchhoff's law for capacitor. Kirchhoff law, we have studied Kirchhoff law for resistance. In this case, we will study Kirchhoff law for capacitance. First law is junction law. Junction law, sum of the all charges is 0 and loop law is sum of all the potential Q by C is known as potential. We know this is potential, this is equals to sum of all the EMF in the circuits. In the circuits, all of the EMF and sum of all the EMF is also potentials and sum of Q over C is same. In conventions, we have already studied that when battery is traversed from positive terminals to negative terminals, this EMF is taken as negative, and if it is traversed from negative to positive, it is taken as a positive. In a similar case, when the capacitor is traversed from positive plates to negative plate, its potential is negative because due to higher potentials to lower potential charge move and it release energy. So delta V is equals to minus Q by C and from negative to positive it's gain energy, so positive Q over C. In third concept, this is a conducting sphere having a positive charge on its surface, and what is the potential at this surface? V is equals to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R, and we know that Q by V is equals to C. Here Q by V 4 pi epsilon naught shifting in this direction, and V here Q by V is equals to 4 pi epsilon naught and R, that is equals to C. This is the capacitance of isolated sphere. This is an isolated conducting sphere having a positive charge. Its capacitance is 4 pi epsilon naught R. It means capacitance is directly proportional to the radius. This is very important concept. Capacitance of a isolated conducting sphere having a radius R is 4 pi epsilon naught R. C is equals to 4 pi epsilon naught R. Now this concept, that is n small spheres. These are identical spheres having equal charge, equal radius, equal capacitance, equal voltage and equal energy. These are combined to form big sphere of radius R, charge Q and C capacitance V, voltage and energy. What is the relation between these parameters with these parameters? See, the volume of this big sphere is equals to the volume of these combining small spheres. It means volume of this big sphere 4 by 3 pi r cube is equals to n time volume of these spheres. The volume of one sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Volume of n spheres n times 4 by 3 pi r cubes. By solving this relationship, by cutting the values, we get r is equals to n to the power 1 by 3 and r. what will be the capacitance of this sphere? Capacitance, we know that for a single sphere having radius r, capacitance is equals to 4 pi epsilon naught r. So capacitance of this big sphere is equals to 4 pi epsilon naught and r. Putting the value of r here, we get capacitance is equals to n to the power 1 by 3 and c. N to the power 1 by 3 and c. And again, what is the charge? According to the conservation of the charge, here each spheres have a charge q, small q, and when these are combining, all of the charges are add up to n time q. Here total charge q is equals to n time q's. And what is the potential of this charge? What is the potential of this sphere? Potential is equals to q by c. Total charge is equals to n time q divided by capacitance. Here come out to be n to the power 1 by 3 and c. Dividing these two terms, we get v is equals to n to the power 2 by 3 and v. After dividing, putting the value of q is equals to n time q here, and c prime is equals to n to the power 1 by 3 and c. When we put here values, we get v to the power n to the power 2 by 3 and v. Now next we will see some basic concepts on mass spring systems. Some basic concepts on mass spring systems. See, this is mass spring systems. This is the mass spring systems. This is a mass spring system. It is at equilibrium stage. But here mass has a negative charge. This mass is a negative charge. Spring is at relax. This is at equilibrium positions. If we apply electric field, we know that every charge particles, when if it is a negative charge, it will moves opposite to the electric field. If it is a positive charge, it will move toward the electric field E. In a similar way, here mass is a negative charge. This will moves opposite to the electric field. This will be, spring will be compressed by a distance of x. Starting this is equilibrium positions, but now this is equilibrium positions. Time period t is equals to 2 pi under root m by k. Time period depends upon mass and constant k. Neither mass change nor k change, because the mass is already having a negative charge. Here mass is already having a negative charge, so mass remain constant, k remain constant. Time period here is the same, time period here is the same, because time period does not depend upon this compressibilities. What is this compressibility? How we can find this compressibility? We know that at equilibrium stage, spring force is electric force. Spring force is equals to electric force. What is spring force? We know that is spring force by Hooke's law, that is equals to kx, and electric constant is equals to electric force is equals to q and e. By equating these equations, x is equals to q e over k. In this relation, we can find the compressibility of this electric field on this springs. Now see, n plates are connected in this way. N plates are connected side by sides. N plates are connected by sides. It will constitute n minus 1 capacitors. N plates are connected side by sides. This will constitute n minus 1 capacitors in series. And we know that if identical capacitors are connected in series, then their equivalent capacitance is C over N. In a similar way, here capacitance is C over N minus 1, because here are N minus 1 capacitors. Putting the value of C, if we consider the capacitance of a single capacitor is 4 A epsilon naught over D, putting the value A epsilon naught over N minus 1 into D. Now again the same, again another arrangement of the capacitors. N capacitors are connected in this way. Odd plates are connected at one points, and even plates are connected at another points. This will forms a parallel combination of capacitor. This will constitute again n minus 1 capacitors in parallel. And we know that for identical capacitors, these are connected in parallel fashions, then equivalent capacitance is equals to n times C. In a similar way, here in our case, equivalent capacitance is n minus 1 times C, because we are dealing with n minus 1 capacitors. N plates constitute n minus 1 capacitors. So this will be numbers n minus 1 is multiplied by C. Here C is A epsilon naught over D. In this situation, equivalent capacitance is equals to n minus 1 multiplied by A epsilon naught over D. Again, this is basic concepts of electrostatics, very important, very interesting. Here this is a capacitor. Here a metallic cylinder is inserted between the plates of a capacitors, and you will understand, and you should understand that for metallics dielectric constant is infinity. For all metals, dielectric constant is infinity. Let's say this metallic has thickness T. Then what will be its capacitance? Its capacitance E epsilon naught over D minus T. If this cylinder fix all the space between the capacitor plates, then T is equals to D. T is equals to D, that is equals to 0, so capacitance will be infinity. Capacitance of the capacitor will be infinite if a metallic cylinder have width is equals to separation of the capacitors. If second case, this is when these two plates are connected through wires or connected by wires. If these two plates are connected by wires or these two plates are joined together, in all three cases, if the cylinder is inserted of the same thickness as separations, or the connected by wires, these two plates are connected by wires. Third, these plates are joined together. In all three cases, capacitance is infinite. And what is the inducing charges? And we know that if consider we have two objects, one is charged and one is neutral. This is neutral, this is a charged. If we come across this charged bodies near a neutral body, due to inductions, this will get induced charge. This will get induced charge. This induced charge is represented by Q primes, and this is inducing charge. This is induced charge. This is inducing charge, that is Q, and this is inducing. This is induced charge, and here is inducing charge. What is the relation? Q prime is equals to Q into 1 minus 1 over K. This is a new charge on this body due to this body. This is due to electrostatic induction. That is equals to 1 over 1 minus K, 1 minus 1 over K. Because for metals, K is infinite, so Q prime and Q are equals for metals. For metals, inducing charge and induced charges are always equals. Next we will see these concepts. These are capacitors are connected in series combinations. Capacitor C1 2 microcoulombs and 5 microcoulombs and 10 microcoulombs. Our question is that where the voltage is maximum, where the energy stored is maximum, because in a series combination we know that charges is same, voltage is different. Voltage is different. Where is the voltage is maximum? Here on C1 voltage is maximum, here on C2 voltage is maximum, here or voltage is on C3 is maximum. We know that V is equals to Q by C. This is the relation between voltage and capacitance. We know that Q is the same, so neglect this Q. Voltage is inversely proportional to capacitance. Voltage is inversely proportional to capacitance. Energy is equals to 1 by 2 QV. For capacitor, energy is equals to 1 by 2 QV, 1 by 2 CV square and so on. So energy is directly proportional to voltage because Q is constant, U is proportional to V. And V is inversely proportional to C. V is inversely proportional to C. It means V is inversely proportional to C and U is inversely proportional to C. Where capacitance is lower, energy and voltage is maximum. It means at C1 voltage potential drop is maximum and energy stored is maximum for series combinations. But in parallel combinations, voltage is same, charge different. Charge maximum and energy maximum in C3. At higher capacitance, charge is maximum and energy is maximum. You can solve in these techniques. Now we will understand our last three concepts that are very interesting concepts. See these concepts. This is a pendulums. This is a pendulums in electric field E. Consider here is no X-rays. Consider here is no X-rays, only the pendulum ball and electric field E. This pendulum is at rest. When we bombardment on X-rays on this bob, this will move in opposite direction of the X-rays. It will move in the direction of E. We are hitting X-rays from this direction. Ball should move in this direction, but actually the ball moves opposite directions of X-rays in the direction of E, because X-rays knock out electrons and this ball get a positive charge. This ball will get a positive charge, and we know that positive charged bodies will move in the direction of electric field E, and this will moves in this directions. So this will moves from here to here. Here three forces are acting on this pendulum bob. One force is electric force that is in the direction of E, Q and E. Second force is weight force that is downward mg. Third force is tension force that is along the string. Three forces are acting on this bob. If we resolve this tension into two components, we know that in mathematics here angle is theta, and also here also angle is theta. So with the theta component of t is t cos theta, and second component is t sin theta, and t sin theta is equivalent to QE, and t cos theta is equals to mg at equilibrium positions. And by dividing these two, t sin theta over t cos of theta, we get a t tan of theta and QE over mg. From this relationship we know theta, and we know mass, and we know g, that is 9.8 meter per second square. And what is E? We also know E. But what is charge on this bob? We can find from these relations what is the charge. If we find the charge, then also this is a spherical bob. This is spherical bob has a capacitance that is equals to 4 pi epsilon naught r. In our last concept we see in our previous concept, a charged spherical bob has a capacitance that is equals to 4 pi epsilon naught r. It means this bob also has capacitance that is equals to 4 pi epsilon naught r. So we can find capacitance. From Q and C we can find voltage, and from voltage and Q we can find energy. It means we can find the energy of this bob. This energy where energy comes from? This energy comes from X-rays, because energy cannot be created nor be destroyed. This energy of this, the energy of this bob is energy of X-rays, because X-rays on hitting transfer its energy to this bobs. So by solving these equations we can find charge, and by charge and capacitance we can find voltage, and from voltage we can find energy. In this relationship we can find the energy of the incoming X-rays by this pendulums. Now we will see next concepts. This concept, this is positive Q charge, this is positive Q charge, Q1 and Q2. The force between them is equals to K Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay, if we will join these two charges, these charges will add up Q1 plus Q2, and after touching, and we will separate them again at the same distance as before. At first stage distance is r, and at last stage distance is again r. But if two charges Q1 and Q2 are different, when these two are joined, then this total charge is Q1 plus Q2. If again separated, this Q1 plus Q2 equally divide Q1 plus Q2 over 2, this will be charge will be Q1 plus Q2 over 2. After touching, this charge will be Q1 plus Q2 over 2. At this situation force is equals to K Q1 Q2 by R square. At this situation force is equals to F prime is equals to, because both charges are same, so F prime is equals to K Q1 plus Q2 over 2 multiplied by again one factor Q1 plus Q2 over 2 becomes square divided by R square. See this, constant are equals, distance are equals, only this factor is Q1 multiplied by Q2, this factor is Q1 plus Q2 over 2 whole square. This quantity is greater than this quantity, so force F prime is greater than F. So F prime is greater than F because this quantity Q1 plus Q2 over 2 whole square, this is greater than Q1 and Q2. From this we solve this examples. This is a positive Q charge that is 6 microcoulombs. This is a positive Q charge that is 9 microcoulombs having distance r, touched with -3 microcoulomb. When this -3 microcoulombs is touched with this 6 microcoulomb, this will comes out -3 plus 6, that is plus 3 microcoulombs, and -3 microcoulombs touching after this charge, this will comes out to be plus 6 microcoulomb. -3 plus 9, that is equals to plus 6 microcoulombs. Here the distance is again same. What will be the force? Previous force F is equals to K Q1 Q2 by R square. what will be the force here? F is prime is equals to K Q1 prime Q2 prime over R square, dividing F over F prime, because constant is the same, K is the same, R is the same, so cancel out. F over F prime is equals to 6 microcoulomb, 9 microcoulomb over 3 microcoulomb and 6 microcoulombs. This comes out to be 3 microcoulombs, and this new force F prime is equals to F over 3. It means force is reduced by factor of 3. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.